we are scheduled till 7:30, but I'm hoping to maybe call for questions at 7 to give you an idea of where we are. There's a lot of information to go over, so I promise not to be boring. I promise not to be boring at all. I am Dr. Laura Mode Stanley, and I'm the Director of Bands here at Brookwood. This is my 19th year at Brookwood. It's hard to believe, it goes so fast. And so if I haven't actually talked to you in person, or I didn't see you at the holiday concert, again, thanks for being here. I also have a quick introduction before she takes off. I was actually in California doing the week tour of the Rose Parade trip that we're going to be taking this fall, and I got a call from Mr. Tankersley, who is our band director at Five Works, that he actually got an opportunity and a job outside of education, and so last minute decided to make the move, which meant that I was going to have to fill the position at Five Works, help fill that position mid-year, and that's tough. That's very tough and hard to do in the middle of the year, especially when you're a teacher, but even more difficult when you are a band director, because there's such a smaller group of people to choose from. So Ms. Douthart, who is amazing, contacted me. We talked a little bit about what to do next, and I have a dear friend, Miss Reed Hall, who is a retired band director and well known in our community and especially in Georgia. And I just contacted her to see if she would be willing to step in and be the long-term sub. And it's not like having any type of sub. I mean, she knows what's going on. So she agreed to that. She's there about 4 days a week. And my former colleague, Mr. Wilson, who I started teaching at Brookwood with in 2003, he as well is picking up days to help over at Five Works. So we've been moving pretty fast, lots of shaking and moving for sure, and so thankful for Miss Hall. So Reed, if you could stand up, here she is. Will you stand up? Everybody, let's thank Miss Hall for all she's doing. And Five Works is on the kind of a block scheduling. So, you know, a lot of it is reminding them when they have band again the next day. That's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks on. They're thinking, okay, when do you have band next? When does that happen? So as I told Five Works, they actually get band every day, and those kids, their faces lit up. It was great. So they're gonna have lots of fun down there. Today is about just marching band. Just marching band. And I'm actually going to remove my mask a little bit and talk to you some. I'll give plenty of distance as long as Mr. Risher does not yell at me for moving around too much. Speaking of Mr. Risher, who has not had a child in the program in how many years, Mr. Risher? A few. Is still here. So you get stuck once you're in. But Mr. Risher is a former band president, and his wife Lynn is our program coordinator. Ben does a lot of technology stuff for us and agreed to film and record actually tonight's meeting so that those that could not attend, they could watch it later and get all the information, which we thought would be much easier. So we're going to record that and post it for those that aren't here. And kudos all these parents that are here to help out, are just amazing people. And you're going to hear from some of them. Okay. Your date sheet. This date sheet is something that you can take home. A lot of this is also in our PowerPoint. And so instead of me going over the date sheet with you right now, I'll wait until we get into the PowerPoint and you can view it then. On the back, there's an area if you want to write some stuff down, take some notes, that's great. Again, we are recording this so you can always come back to it, okay? So make sure you have one of these as you leave tonight. Thanks, Ms. Hall. First thing we're going to talk about is the type of membership in the high school band. Again, I've said band at high school is every day. We are on a 7-period day. And so they'll have one class of band every day. There are marchers and there are non-marchers. The marchers have to be enrolled in a band class unless they're in the color guard. Okay, so if they're on the color guard, then they don't have to be enrolled in band. But anybody else that's in the marching band has to be enrolled in a band class. And it's non-negotiable. There are some schools in the county that will allow the students, because they're on block scheduling, to do marching band, which means that those kids are only doing more of the social aspect of band, and they're kind of after school all the time. Then you have non-marchers. These are the kids that have played an instrument previously and registered for a band class, but they do not participate in the marching band. Those are non-marchers. So basically, everything that we're doing in the band class pertains to all of them. It's just that if they're in marching band, it's more after school. The truth is, we have 4 band classes. And in fact, Ms. Hall, if you can go to the next slide, we have 4 band classes, and those band classes all rehearse marching music. We have about 35 tunes that we play in the stands. And these are things that the kids love to play. So even the non-marchers will play some of that music in class and get to know that music, and they enjoy doing it for sure. The way we assign classes, here's how it'll work. Your kids are already registering for band, okay? Most of you that are here because you know your student's gonna do band. Some of them might be here and they haven't decided yet. And hopefully tonight when they go home, they want to. These 4 band classes are unique. And there is not another school in Georgia that does it the way that we do. And we've been doing this for a long time. Every student that's at Five Forks or Cruz as an 8th grader that signs up for band for high school will just automatically go straight into high school beginning band. It's called beginning, but it's high school. And so that the experience of the high school beginning band means you've played before. You've done 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, or an equivalent to that. We call that the Maroon and Gold Band. That's just the name that we call it, but the schools is the beginning. There's no audition required. The kids just naturally go into that class, okay? They meet first period. So my first period right now has 93 kids in it. And they like starting with the band class. They enjoy that. The second option for them is another class called concert band, and that's high school intermediate band. Any 8th grader that made district band this year in 8th grade naturally is going to be placed in concert band. They don't have to audition or do anything. They just naturally go into concert band. And then any student in 8th grade that made All-State, I think at Cruz, there was one that made All-State, and he is a 6th grade clarinet player. Crazy enough. So we don't have any 8th grade All-State members, but they would naturally go into the third group, which is symphonic band, okay? It's a natural progression. We also have a top group. We call it the most experienced group, Symphonic Winds, and that really is mainly seniors. And we actually don't allow any freshmen into that group, no matter of their ability, because that band, probably has 80 kids in it, and when they're mainly seniors and some juniors, maybe 2 or 3 sophomores, it's not the best environment for them to be in during the day. So socially, it's better for them to be in those other 3 groups. Let's say that your child did not make honor band, or maybe didn't even audition for honor band. That happens, and they want a chance to be in concert band. What they will do is, this is actually different than what I told the kids last week. I kind of changed things up for them to make it a little bit easier. We're going to go, Mr. Jean and I are going to go to the schools February 28th and March 1st. We'll go both days to both schools. And we will ask anyone that wants to audition to play their chromatic scale, full octave, full range, and then also they are going to do a short sight reading. So it's actually nothing they need to practice except for the chromatic scale. And then we'll do a short sight reading just to see if they're at the level and the ability to go ahead and move into concert band, because concert band moves a little bit faster than the Maroon and Gold Band. And we will just show up and ask them. Mr. Jean is going over those details with the kids downstairs tonight. So they're going to get that from over there as well. Now, let's say they're a percussionist, or if their second instrument is percussion and they want to march percussion and they audition to do the percussion, they can do that. They're placed in the first semester into a 7th period marching percussion class. So all those kids in 7th period are marching percussionists the first semester. And then the second semester, we've already assigned them into one of the 4 band classes. So their schedule changes mid-year. If they are not a percussionist that's going to major, if they're percussionists and they're not marching, not marching, they're we're in a goal band first semester, all of them, no matter their age or ability. And then second semester, they're all placed into the band that they should appropriately be in, okay? We've done that, we've talked about that in class. That might be a little confusing to you, and I can come back to that if you need. But I did talk to the kids about that in class, as well as Mr. Jean's gonna hit on that tonight. Okay? Good. Next one. This is basically what a band class entails. Let's say they want to do high school band, and they're going to be in the marching band or they're not. That doesn't matter at this point. Every single student in the program is going to do 2 after-school rehearsals, and that's 1 in the fall and 1 in the spring. Those are graded. It's part of their actually grade, okay? And then they have 4 concerts. So it's probably very similar to what you already do in middle school. A lot of people think they get to the high school and it just means more time after school. The only thing that's more time is the marching band, which is well worth it. And we'll talk about that in a second. They have the holiday concert, which we were all at together. And then in the spring, we have a pre-LGPE. This year, ours is in March 8th. An LGPE, just like you. Ours is March the 18th. And then our spring concert, May 3rd. So those are the 4 concerts that we do each year. If they're in the marching band, they're doing all of that. But in addition, they're also doing the things that are on the handout that I gave you. Most of the dates on the handout that I gave you are all marching band dates. Because obviously it takes a little bit more time. These things are like after school rehearsals, Friday football games, the exhibition, 2 Saturday competitions, and of course this year, as you found out at the meeting, we are going to California to perform in the Tournament of Roses Parade, which we're stoked about. Okay, so that's marching band. All right, next one. Why marching band? That's a really loaded question. And usually in this time of the meeting, it's easy to talk about the reasons why marching band is good, completely outside of music. Okay, because there's two parts of marching band. And I am a band director's kid. So both of my parents were my band directors. My dad was my high school, my mom was my middle school, and I truly enjoyed marching band more for the relationships and the social aspect first. And then the fact that I love playing my instrument. Now, I was a clarinet player. I'm a clarinet player. So it's kind of hard for me to be heard on the field that much. But that didn't matter to me. I love the act of it. Went on to college, went to UGA, and marched for 4 years there. And some of the best times of my life. I would not look back and do anything differently. No regrets at all. So I truly think that the marching band experience enriched my life, not only socially, but also as a leader. I learned how to step out. I learned how to advocate. I learned how to get along with people who didn't necessarily want to get along with me, but also they struggle getting along with others too. And I found ways and a methods to learn relationship bonding and building, and I wouldn't do it any other way. And Brookwood's the perfect place for that because it's not in a competitive environment. Anybody that wants to march in the high school marching band that has played their instrument at Five Forks or Cruise or has moved in, they don't have to audition. You say you want to do it, you sign up, you pay your money, and you're in. And we do everything in our power to make sure they're having fun, but truly really good. Obviously really good. Music. A lot of the kids, I've been telling in classes, when you're in marching band, well, 2 things, let me back up. I always forget, now I have a 6th grader, but I always forget that the kids, you ask them, they're like, what are you most excited about going to high school band? They're like, I don't have to carry my instrument around all day long. And it always blows my mind when I see that. And so being at Five Forks this past week, I'm like, yes, I don't blame them at all. And in fact, when they get into high school and they're in the marching band, there's really not a lot of time to practice outside of typical class. Because if they're in the marching band, they're playing all the time, and they're also playing with the seniors. You know, when kids socially come into Maroon and Gold Band, their first period, it's usually pretty quiet. They're all freshmen. Those kids, second semester, you can tell that have been around the seniors and the juniors because they are a little bit more serious probably, and they feel more confident about their ability and their playing because they truly have played more than they ever have in their life. And they haven't necessarily practiced more at home, but they've played more with those upper level kids, and so they're learning a lot from them. So that's a good one. Teamwork, obviously, flexibility, manners, obviously, generosity, trust. We love serving others, doing things for others. All those things marching band will teach. My goal in band classes are to reach these things, but when you only see them 45 minutes a day, sometimes it's hard, and you're always getting ready for another concert. It's a performance group, so there's not a lot of time to do that in class. We use most of our marching band time rehearsals to do that. Okay? Good. Next one. All right, let's talk marching band for a second. The rehearsals, it would look like we would have a lot of rehearsals, and ultimately, if you were to count them up, it might be that way, but it's really only about 11 weeks of a schedule, which is crazy. So the first week that we have Preband Camp, this Preband Camp is hosted here at the school, and it's mandatory for the kids unless they're out of town. The color guard and the percussion are absolutely mandatory for pre-camp. The winds, it's if they're in town. And the reason why is the percussion and the guard have already started learning what they're going to be doing in the show. So we hire all kinds of staff to come and teach them. That way they get a little bit ahead because there's specialty areas that they don't actually do during the school day, right? So they're mandatory for pre-camp, but the winds are not, okay? And that's July 12th through the 14th. If you look at your date sheet really quickly, I don't want to talk you to death, but on the date sheet, if you'll flip down to the bottom, it'll say Wind Rookies. If it's their first year of the marching band, they go from 9 to 12 on Tuesday, 9 to 12 on Wednesday, and then they're here the full day, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. So Tuesday is just the morning, Wednesday is just the morning, and then Thursday is the morning and afternoon. And they'll actually be with all of the vets on the Thursday, and that's a big day for them. If they're in percussion and color guard, as it says, they're 9 to 12 and 1 to 4, all 3 of those days. Okay? So that's pre-camp. The next one. Oh, go back one slide. Sorry. I threw you off. Band camp is the second one. This one, absolutely mandatory. Bottom line is, if they cannot make it to band camp, they cannot do marching band. It's impossible. Our show is probably anywhere between 60 sets to 70 sets. And when I say sets, you know, the entire marching band is first string. We don't have alternates. So they have a coordinate, an actual coordinate that says the 40-yard line, 2 steps off the hash. And in 16 counts, you're gonna go to the 50-yard line, 3 steps off the hash. Right? So they each have their own coordinates, and we learn a good half of the show, a third maybe, or a half of the show at band camp. And so if they miss that, they'll get to school, and we won't go over those sets at school. We don't have time. Once we get to school, it's crazy. They've done school all day, the bell rings, they get a snack, and then we start outside at 3 o'clock. So we don't have time to go back and reteach them. So that's non-negotiable. There's just no way to be able to let them do marching band if they can't do that week. That is July 17th to the 22nd. And we are going to North Georgia College. They stay in a dorm. They eat the dorm food. We were there last year and had a blast. We have done several locations for band camp. North Georgia is the closest of those that we have done, and it's beautiful. It really works really well. At the bottom, it talks about regular rehearsals. We do grade for marching band. We are flexible with doctor's appointments and whatnot that are already scheduled in advance, but most of the time we save Wednesdays for those days. Wednesdays are good days to use during marching band, and if they're a wind player, Mondays are good days. Okay, so they go August 9th through October the 20th, and that on Mondays the drumline and guard meet for 2 hours after school. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, everybody meets 3 to 5:30. So if they're wind player, they're only doing Tuesdays and Thursdays. If they're percussion, we add in a Monday. Okay? And we hire staff to be there those days, which is why we want that. Okay? Let me do a quick pause. Up to here, are there any questions about schedule or maybe band camp? It'll get into the finances here in a second. Yeah.
So the band camp is from a Sunday to a Thursday. If they have to miss that Sunday, but they can be there from Monday to Thursday, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
The question was, and it really is scheduled till Friday.
Oh, yeah, Friday. Sorry.
Got it. So that's okay. So her question was, she knows right now she already has something on the 17th. The Sunday. So her question was, if they could be there Monday to Friday, would that be okay? And the answer is yes. We don't really like for them to do that, but if you have something that you're, because we don't teach on Sunday. Sunday is a get there after dinner check-in. They've already eaten dinner by the time you drop them off, and they get in with their roommates, they get their room set up, and then we have a full camp meeting where I introduce the staff for the week, and then we go through the band camp rules. And then we let them order some pizza if they want to have pizza after the meeting, delivered to the dorm. Our band parents will schedule that for them, and then they kind of hang out in the dorm in a very monitored environment and eat pizza and then go to bed. And we start Monday morning at 7:30. And so we work hard. We work hard for sure. We have a morning block outside. Afternoon block is inside. Evening block is outside. And then after that, we have a fun group activity with all the kids. Good? Yes.
Well, my daughter running track, so she normally makes it to Junior Olympics. That's what I'm asking.
Yep, that's why I had to.
Oh, okay. So I didn't look at the schedule yet, but that's what I was wondering, like if they miss a day or two.
The Junior Olympics, will they be back on Sunday?
So they usually go, depending on which one they do, they'll be in Florida for the week, and then the week after that, usually the first week of school, they're in Houston, Texas for the Junior Olympics. So that's why I asked about the Sunday, because we're usually running on a Sunday or coming back. So,
Yeah. Well, once.
because we did Junior Olympics last year too.
It depends on what race they're running to.
Sure.
Yeah,
When would you know?
not till the summer,
Yeah,
because every
yeah.
week they have to compete to make it to the next level until they make the Junior Olympics.
But it would not be a situation where they miss the whole week? Or are you saying it could be?
If they make it out, if they qualify through, then, because I can't remember, we didn't make
They
it back
could.
to-
We only do middle distance, so we personally shouldn't miss the whole week, but it just depends on what events the children participate.
When you know more,
Yeah.
email me.
Okay, I got you. Thank you.
Perfect. Great. All right, those are great questions. Anything else on that? Good. Okay, next slide. The performance schedule. We, besides the football games, we're going to talk about that in a second, we're going to participate in 2 competitions. There are 3 dates listed at the bottom, and I will choose 2 of those dates. So one's going to be released, okay? They're graded, but these competitions are local. We'll go to area high schools that are close to us in the state of Georgia, and we will not spend the night. Obviously, we're going to California, so we would not be doing that, but we'll choose in two, and we will compete. That's the only 2 times that we compete in the marching band, okay? And the kids are learning about that now as they are in the other room, okay? But these are mandatory. If you sign up for marching band, you're saying that you know that they can be there, right? So you're kind of holding out those dates. If something is already on your calendar and there's an issue right now, just let me know ahead of time so that I can make sure I know that in our show. And I'll talk about that in a minute. All right, next slide. This is for everybody. We actually, whether they're in the marching band or not, our band classes, as they all perform in either a full tux or the black dress. And I know crews, you already have the dresses. Does Five Forks still do the dresses anymore? So I know that's the case. So these dresses are a little bit different. And the way this works, this is kind of overwhelming at first, but you kind of have to let your brain digest it. Let me do it this way. In August, we will have a representative from the Gentry shop. She will come to our band classes, 1st through 4th period, and 7th period percussion. She will measure each of the kids. She'll get all their measurements on a sheet of paper, and she'll leave. Then we will start our Brookwood Band online store. Will have the option for you to go on and purchase a brand new tux or a brand new dress. This year, the full tux with everything except the shoes was $135. The dress was $95. And these are hemmed. These are options if you wanted to purchase them new, which I will say most do that, and here's why. Look at the very bottom. If you want to maybe get a deal on a dress or a tux, you're very lucky to find the tux, because a lot of times at first they're kind of like, I've got to buy that, but then they start wearing it to the homecoming dance, and then they start wearing it to the extra performances, and then they go to college and they're going to want to play. Usually the guys keep the tux, and you're surprised that they make it that long in it. Well, they're adjustable pants. So we get their jacket a little big the first year, and their pants are adjustable, and they grow into those, okay? But sometimes the seniors, and especially the girls, those wearing the dresses, they would like to sell theirs. So what happens is they get their dress and tux dry cleaned, they drop it off, and then on May the 12th, you can come to the high school, and we're here from 5 to 6:30, and you bring cash. So instead of $135, you'll pay like a little less than $70 for a tux. Instead of $95, you'll pay a little bit less than $50 for a dress. And you bring cash, you put that money down, you take what you're taking home, and we take that envelope and give it to that senior for selling their dress or tux, okay? And that's why it's cash. It's because it's not a fundraiser and it's not for BBA. It's for the kids to be able to sell those and make things a little bit easier for everybody. Again, the tuxes are kind of hard to find because a lot of times the guys want to keep them. We do, if you would not be stuck if you needed help with that. We have some other options that we can help you with in getting those tuxes and dresses, but we won't go through all that tonight, okay? That's just when we get there. The beautiful thing is a lot of people are moving away from the tux and dress as a full group, and what they're doing is they're just out making their most experienced group. They're like symphonic winds, and then the other classes, they wear like a pair of black pants and a polo shirt. But I don't like that idea. I think that when they come into the high school, they want to feel just like their other peers and look as classy as they can. And that's a big part of being in the high school. Plus, they buy it their first year, and it lasts them through their senior year, which is great. So that's why we do that. Okay, next one. The marchers are going to have a fee associated with what they do because we do so much extra. The non-marchers, it's on a donation campaign. Because we do a lot of things as a group. So the non-marchers have a donation of $75. If you can do that, that helps us because it goes towards the LGPE instructors that we use during class, the guest clinicians that we use after school, pre-LGPE judges when we have that concert. We have a big awards banquet that's not just for marching band. The awards banquet is for the entire band program, and we have to buy those awards for that. Instruments, music, you know, the county, and I love working in Gwinnett. It's the only place I've ever taught, but they have to share their money over all the high schools. So no matter how large or small the high school is, we each get 2 instruments a year, and we get $750 for music, and we get $1,200 for repair. And that's all we operate off of. So everything else is based on our BBA, our fundraising, our parent payments, our donations, everything else is based on that. And we are a 501c3 organization, so the truth is, at the end of the year, when it's time to balance and make sure everything's good, we are at a zero. We are at a zero balance, and we're not here to make money. We're here to do everything we can to make sure that your child has the best experience. So that's why we do the donation from the non-marchers, because there's a lot of things that we pay for out of the budget that includes all the classes. Okay? Okay, marching band. So the financial aspect of marching band, I kind of had to put this in perspective. My daughter, 6th grader, started piano when she was in 2nd grade. So since Chloe, and I was a piano player, I loved it. But since Chloe has been playing the piano, sorry Ben, I gotta grab my phone to do my calculator because I am the band director. But if I didn't teach band, guess what I would teach? Math, that's true. I was gonna be a math teacher and be the cheerleading coach. That's true. I was a cheerleader in my school. I loved it. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so I pay $125 a month, every month, for Chloe to play the piano. And she takes a 30-minute lesson once a week. So I spend $1,500 a year, right? And I've been doing that now for 4 years. So I've spent $6,000 on Chloe learning piano, and I love it. I think it's great. For marching band, Chloe just does that once a week, but for marching band, these guys are out there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday competitions. We're doing band camp away. We're doing pre-camp here. We got awards banquets. We have people coming in, clinicians coming in. So it does come with a cost. The marchers, they pay $750 to be in the marching band. If, let's say you have two kids in the marching band, and some people have 3. We've had 2 situations, including the Richards, where they've had 3 kids in the program. So if you have 2, then the second one is reduced to $650. We do a reduction for the second and the third. The way that we do this is that money, that $750, includes the week away to band camp. So the week away to band camp, we take that $750, and it's around $400 that we take and give to North Georgia for all of our operating costs, facility fees, their dorms, their food, instructors, all that. And then you pay the deposit of $375, and then your final $375 is due July 15th. Easy as that, okay? This is, like I said, pre-camp, band camp. It also includes their arrangements. A lot of marching bands, when you go to the competition, it might be that a band comes and performs, and then 2 bands later, you see their performance, and it's the same music. Well, they have gone and bought a stock arrangement of that music. And that is fine, that's great to do, that's no problem. But we like that we have our own sound and our own music, and nobody else plays it. There's often times where after a competition, a band director will call and ask to purchase it. And I always say no, because, and they get bothered by that, but it's our music, and we're the only ones that are gonna do that arrangement. Brett, who is the director at the University of Georgia, he's the director of the Red Coat Band. We went to school together, and so he's been writing for me, I don't know, like 15 years here at Brookwood. So it's just our own sound, and it causes an expense. Okay, questions about this? It's been a while since I've talked this much. Thank you. Way to go, Reed. Any questions? Are you sure? The slideshow is just that informative, isn't it? Okay. Oh, yes.
So I see your date of February 8th. Is that flexible if you're trying to balance schedules? Is it going to work? Is camp going to work? Can I make my daughter camp? What's the flexibility on that February 8th date?
Let's go to the next one. I think it's on here. Okay. I'll talk about that in 1 second. The money that you saw on there was for everybody in the band. The first year that they're in the marching band, there is a uniform rental fee. That $60 uniform rental fee lasts all 4 years. You don't pay that again. That's a one-time payment, which is really, they're newer uniforms, and so we use that money to replace buttons, fix hats. You know, if something goes wrong with a uniform, you don't have to go take it to get it fixed, right? We do that here, and we ask the company to fix it for us, and so we just do the one-time $60 pay. Marching shoes, there's specific shoes that they will allow in the Corky Kell, and that's at the Mercedes-Benz. You can't have any shoes on the turf. They have to be those type of shoes. And now that we have new turf on our field, we have to wear these specific shoes. It would be dangerous to wear any others. So they got the first time fee. The garment bag, which I think Stephanie Craig has here, she's holding up. This garment bag is not a mandatory purchase, but what's good about the garment bag is it will fit all of their uniform accessories in of their jacket and their waders and everything. And it comes with their name embroidered. There's nothing like having 250 kids in the band room and they're trying to find their garment bag. I mean, it's like herding cats, but at least their name's on them so we know what's going on. They come embroidered, and that's not mandatory, but it's an option for you. And we also have the duffel bag, which is here. I was so sad. I have my first, my first duffel bag in 2003. It was in my car. My car was broken into last week, and they took my bag, and it has my name on it and everything. I was sad about a lot of things, like my computer and that kind of stuff, but I was mainly sad about my duffel bag. And those are nice. They're very, very nice. That's an option. You don't have to get that. Gloves, we give them their first pair of gloves when they get measured for their uniform, and then after that, if they lose them or they need another pair, they pay $5. So those are the only extra fees associated with what they need for their stuff. Okay, so here's to answer that question about when to pay and the flexibility. This is earlier than ever. We normally don't have a registration for marching band and a payment schedule due until late March. But we're having to do it this early because the California trip is going to be a cost. And we want to start our payments of the monthly payments earlier so that that's more manageable to do. Okay, we're going to talk more about the Rose Parade and the trip at the February 3rd meeting when all of the vets, parents, and students are here, because it'll answer a lot more of those questions. We're actually still waiting on the final numbers from the company because the flights, they cannot give us a quote on the flights until February because of the schedule. So once you get online to brookwoodband.org and you register yourself, you're going to get an email, which actually will come from Mr. Risher and the website. It will give you your login credentials. So you're going to go to brookwoodband.org, you're going to register yourself, and then you'll get an email. You'll wait a little bit. You'll get an email with your credentials. Mr. Risher, about how long do you think it will take from the time they register to get their credentials?
Actually, it's the other way around. They pay and then they get credentials. They register, pay, and then I send them credentials.
Got it. It's a new website. That's why he's here. So you actually will go online. You'll actually do what we call registering for marching band. We used to call it letter of intent. So when you go to brookwoodband.org, it'll talk you through registering for marching band. And then at the end of that, it'll talk about payments. Okay, Julie, I didn't get your email yet. Can they pay all $750 on that day? So your option is on that day, you can pay the $750 and be done with it. You can pay by credit card, or you can do a bank account information. Okay, or you can choose 2 payments, the $375 by February the 8th, and then you'll do the $375 in July. Okay, or you can sign up at that moment to do installment fees of $94 that will come out and do for 8 months. Huh? Oh, okay, I thought you said my name. And that's the installment fees. The last one is, if those don't work for you or you need help, you send an email to, if you can see at the bottom, treasurer@brookwoodband.org. treasurer@brookwoodband.org. And that's if you want to do a different type of plan, or you need assistance and have questions to be answered financially. That actually goes to 2 treasurers. We very, very secure and safe. There's no discussions about those types of things. So feel free. If you want to go a different route and you would like to contact me, that's completely fine. I can get you involved with somebody else if you need help with that. Okay? But that'll give you some installment fees. February 8th is pretty early, and we recognize that. But the trip, the company that's organizing the trip will begin collecting payments in March. So what we didn't want to do is we didn't want those people to have to divvy it up and have to do 2 payments in those months. Again, we don't know how that's going to start until we get back from the company, which we meet with them on Thursday. And then next Thursday when we had our meeting, we can all go about that. The beautiful thing is there's some things put into place to raise funds for the entire band as a whole that we're going to talk about next Thursday. So it's a much more doable experience for everybody. But that's why we have it as February the 8th. If you need more time past February the 8th, just send me an email. And that way I can get a better estimate of how many days you might have. There's going to be a point, and this has never happened before, but there's going to be a point where we have to stop accepting the students because we will begin writing our show. Our halftime show that we do at the games, we will perform in California. So we actually will perform that at a thing called Band Fest. So we have to make sure that we're designing our show based on the people that are obviously going to California with us, because that's how that's going to work. And we're going to talk about that next Thursday, especially for issues with a student who may already be gone that week. And we'll talk about that next Thursday for sure. Okay? But all of tonight is just about marching band. That's all you need to worry about at this point. But that's why we had the February 8th date early. Good? Any other questions about that? Gosh, you're so attentive, I love it. Okay, next one. This is just for fees. So we have 2 types. Thank you, Ms. Hall. We have 2 types of fundraisers. We have the general fundraisers, and then we have what we call IFAs. IFAs are the individual fundraising accounts. So, I'll take my daughter and son for an example. I've got Chloe and I have Sean. The whole band is going to do a fundraiser, and you'll see there, Taste of Brookwood on March 19th this year. That's a general band fundraiser, and we hope to make $14,000. We have developed our budget off of the $750 payment and the $75 donation that we will make $14,000. If we were to make more than 14,000, then it will help other line items. But we need to make 14,000 for it to all work out. If Chloe and Sean sell tickets, then all of that money goes straight to the general band fundraiser. It doesn't go to an IFA. Chloe doesn't get credit, Sean doesn't get credit. All right? But something like the mattress sale, which our mattress sale, funny enough, is scheduled for April the 16th. And this guy, Keith Cumming, kept calling me over and over again, asking if he could host a mattress sale fundraiser for the band. And I thought it was silly. I'm like, who's gonna buy a mattress from the band? This is really weird. But it's amazing. They set up in the gym or sometimes the commons. We've done it in the band room. It's like going into Mattress Firm. Everything is set up and they have representatives there and they're going around and they're selling their mattresses. They're at a little bit of reduced cost and it's a fundraiser for the band. Plus, it's a fundraiser for you. So if Chloe were to sell a mattress to my mom's like, oh yeah, I want that mattress and I want it delivered on this day, then Chloe gets a $25 credit to her band account. If she sells more than one, she gets another 25. It's like a level portion. The more mattresses she sells, the better off she goes in her IFA. So that one is kind of a double one. The big one that we have is the calendar fundraiser. And you've probably seen this if you're on social media. People have been doing this for a while. We started this 2 years ago and it never really took off for us because COVID hit. And we didn't really collect a lot of money fees-wise to do things because we were on a hold. But basically, you can imagine you're looking at a calendar, and it doesn't even matter the month. Most months are 30 to 31 days, right? So it's just a calendar page that has a bunch of Bronco heads on it. And that means that you can take that calendar and you can show it to anybody in your neighborhood and you can say, would you like to sponsor me for either $1 up to $31, right? And so you can take cash from them or you can take a check to BBA or they could do Cash App, Venmo. There's options on the form. And you collect a month's worth of dues. So nobody's paying more than $31. They're either given a donation of $1, $5, $15, $12, $31, whatever dates they choose. If they fill out the entire month, I believe it's $492 that they've collected. And so they can collect that money and use that money towards their payment. A big one is that's going to be really big, especially for the Tournament of Roses. We'll be doing focused campaigns with the kids all together and to help them support them in raising the funds if they want to participate in that. But the calendar fundraiser is good for that, and it's also good for the fees. So you can have them help you with that too. A lot of people do it on social media, and so like in 4 hours, they've got a whole month's worth. And it's crazy how fast that goes because the donations are not that large. And so the kids in the schools will be like, yeah, I'll give you $1. And they'll take their $1 and they'll mark it off on the list. Okay, and then we have a Boston Bet fundraiser, which was actually a really great one. Was it 3,000 that we made? It's about 3,000. Yeah, that we made on it. Now that's a lot of work for the parents. Those that were volunteering, they had fun doing it, but they made a good amount of money. And that goes towards lots of things. So those are all pretty beneficial. Okay, these are just options for you. All right, next one. Upcoming dates, and we're almost done. February the 3rd is next Thursday. If you know for sure your child is going to march, or they're on the fence, they're not sure yet, go ahead and come to the meeting next Thursday. It's the only time we're going to host the Tournament of Roses meeting. We'll probably do the same thing where we record it, but you'd probably want to be there just to make sure. So we'll release the schedule, we'll release the payment schedule, we'll release more fundraisers and campaigns and all the good stuff. Okay, that's next Thursday. February the 8th is your deadline for registration. The registration is a definite. for February the 8th. And then if you need help on the deposit end, according to some issues that you might have scheduling, just send me an email. You'll get that email in just a second. February the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th are the color guard auditions here at the high school. And that's on your date sheet as well. The 19th is Taste of Brookwood. We would love for you to come out and join us. That's an awesome event. It goes from 5 to 8. March 21st, that entire week, are the drumline auditions. And those run 4:30 to 6:30 every day. Just so you know, we have auditions for the drumline, but we don't not include any of the kids that are coming to us to do percussion. If their primary instrument is percussion, okay? So that week is about placing them on the correct instrument. They can either do snare, bass, tenors, cymbals, or the front ensemble, the pit, okay? So they'll be placed on one of those instruments based on what the staff, Darren, Liam, and Ryan, are all of our percussion staff, and they place them accordingly. Then they'll have like a full color guard rehearsal March 21st, 23rd, and 24th. That is also on your date sheet as well. I did see a hand. Yes? Taste of Brookwood. Thanks for asking. Taste of Brookwood is basically, it's in this room, and it's a very social night that we eat really good food. Every single person pays to come into the door. 15. Is it 15 or is it 12?
We're actually going to do 16 if we do it on the
16, because we're doing the GoFan app. That's right. So $16 coming in the door. That's $16. The jazz band's playing, the winter guard's performing, and there's a silent auction at tables that are set up with really great things. And but around the room are all of these booths. We strive for 25 restaurants, and these 25 restaurants are asked to provide 500 appetizers for us. You will have a sheet of paper as you walk in the door that has 5 dots for a taste, a drink, and a dessert. So this is, I don't know, year 15 for Taste of Brookwood. I skipped one in there with COVID, but I have never filled all of my foods, and I love to eat. And I never fill it because they're just putting out so much food. It's ridiculous. So you pay the $16 to get the coupon, and you go and you taste at 5 different locations. And then you get a dessert and you get a drink. The jazz band's playing. We've got a picture thing going on the front. I mean, it is so much fun. It's a hit. And it's a great fundraiser for you because it's a fun way to raise money, but it doesn't have a lot of cost. These restaurants are donating their food, which is really cool. That's Taste of Brookwood. Okay, what other questions so far? Yes?
The drumline auditions that 21st to 25th. I mean, the kids get off the bus sometimes. They're at the mercy of the bus. And you know
Totally. Yes. Yes, it happens every year. We schedule it from 4:30 to 6:30 so that we don't have the high schoolers having to be out till 7, 8 because we start so early. So by that point, they usually get there around 4:45. And Darren and Liam and Ryan have everything set up for them. And the vets are helping the rookies where to go. Totally right. The question was about the timing. Okay. Any others? Good. Okay, next one. Obviously, we need you. And the fun part about high school band is also being the parent and chaperoning and volunteering and all the good stuff. And so our band staff really hasn't made, and we need you. We are losing a lot of senior parents. We're losing a lot of senior parents. I had 80 seniors in this year's band, which is a lot of seniors. So we need a lot of help. And if these are your specialties or there's something that you're interested in doing, you can just send an email to Lynn Risher brookwoodband.org. And that's actually on your date sheet as well. You can send an email to her and you can let her know the things that you're really interested in. We have people that are there to water the band, to provide water during rehearsals, water during the football game. We have chaperones that once they sign up as a chaperone, it doesn't mean that they're actually just sitting next to a kid. You're active. You're involved, you're moving, you're on the buses, you're doing attendance there and helping kids with medical needs, passing out food in third quarter break, taking a trash can and picking up food, asking them to pick up their food. You're very involved, but it's very fun. And my job as the band director is to make sure that they have the respect and the manners that they need to respond to any adult that is in the room or any adult that is out on the field. And that's our goal. So we need you. We hope that you want to be involved, because it's really, even though your kids will tell you, don't you do that. Your kids will say, Mom, Dad, you're not going to band camp, or you are not going to the roast parade, or you are not going to be at the game on Friday. Just okay, and then go ahead and sign up, because we need you. We need people that can pull the trailers. We need some people that like to load and unload, which actually is me. I do enjoy doing that. Playing Tetris is really a kind of fun thing to do. So we need all those people. Medical needs, we have a nurse that is with us. We will have a nurse that is not a band parent that will be traveling with us to California for the Tournament of Roses, because I learned my lesson when we went to London and I had 2 parents there that had kids in the parade but missed the parade. And I told myself I would never do that again. It's better to have on that kind of trip somebody who is okay with missing the parade, because they're taking care of a child who may be sick. And that's important. We have those nurses with us at band camp. And they're well versed. They know exactly what to do. We have doctors in our family, in our band family, so we're just blessed, because we have enough people to staff all of these things and more. But we need you, and we won't know that you want to do it unless you tell us. So just send Lynn an email, even when you get home tonight. Oh, I enjoyed the meeting. Dr. Stanley talks too much, but I really want to do this. And you tell her what you want to do. Okay? Good. Next one. Yes.
We have some of our band parents over here, but they can give them more descriptions and stuff. So when they're done with the meeting series,
Yes.
they're waving.
Yes.
Session members, spirit groups here.
Yes. We're going to do all that after I talk through the football schedule for a second, okay? And we have about 20 minutes till 7, so that's going to be perfect. The football schedule has not been released yet. But I do know that today, kind of back and forth, they've decided how the games are going to work. So normally we have 10 games, okay? And I would typically in this meeting give you the printout of every single game, where it is, and who we're playing against. But we just haven't been provided that yet. So as soon as it comes out, I will make sure I email it to Ms. Hall and email it to Mr. McCord and Ms. Bingham, so that you can get a copy of that. We are going to have 4 home games, and the others are away. Our first game is against Norcross, and we are at the Mercedes-Benz, and that one's a Saturday. We always open our schedule at Mercedes-Benz. It is an amazing event, and even more amazing when you find out that your game is in the 2 o'clock time. Not at supposed to start at 8:30 time, but really it's going to start at 10:45 time. So that's nice. So that first game will be against Norcross, and we do have the afternoon game. So, lots of praises for that. That's a great thing. And then we will actually start against Walton, our first home game, and of course, Youth Night. Again, Youth Night being the first home game is always crazy. We'll play a different schedule this year. We're actually playing Archer. We're playing Grayson. We're playing South Forsyth. We're playing South Gwinnett. We're playing Parkview. And we are also playing a team called Dutch Fork, that's it. Dutch Fork is in South Carolina. We are slated to go to South Carolina. I literally found this out this morning. So that's okay. I don't know. It's about a 3.5 hour drive, and I don't know if the full band is going to go. I don't know that yet because of the expense with the Tournament of Roses. So in those situations, when the team travels, but sometimes like if we go to Walton, we cannot take the whole band because that means that nobody from Brookwood would be able to sit in the stands. Their stands are like half of the commons area. So we have to take a pet band. Now, truly, when Brookwood Pet Band shows up, there's about 170 kids. You know, they used to laugh about that. They're like, Laura, I thought you were bringing a pet band. Well, I did. There's 170, and they're all juniors and seniors. So that's okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to do that for Dutch Fork or not. So we will let you know ASAP. If we do perform at Dutch Fork, it'll probably be an open invitation for any of the kids that would like to go, like the seniors and juniors, even freshmen if they wanted to, but there would be an expense to it because we would want to get some charter buses, which, you know, will be a little bit of an expense and something we would want to do if everybody wants to do it. Again, totally just found that out, so I'm just not sure how that's going to work. It would not be mandatory though, in that case. Also, fall break, completely open. Fall break, there is no game on Friday, praises, and because of that, there's no competition on that Saturday. Some of my colleagues like to put their competition on fall break because it means that they feel like their kids are going to perform better because they're more relaxed or they didn't have a game the night before, and no, life is too short. We're not doing that. We should all be off and having a little bit of a break, right? And like eating at home, doing fun things, yes. Going where we want to go, and even if that means sleeping in our beds for 3 days because we're so exhausted. So we would not do that. The same thing applies for competitions. When competitions are on Saturdays, we go through the football calendar and say, okay, when's homecoming? We're not doing it during homecoming because homecoming is about the kids going to the homecoming dance and doing the fun things, not doing band competitions. They used to like to put the Gwinnett exhibition on a Saturday, but what they didn't realize was everybody's homecomings were different times. So all of a sudden, they wanted Brookwood to perform at their 3 o'clock time, and I said, no, we're not doing that because they'll be sunburnt and the girls are going to put on a dress and they're going to be really mad at me and they're not going to like that at all. So we're going to perform first or we're not coming because that's not fair to the kids. We're not going to do that. It's always kids first, 100%. It's my whole reason of applying for the Rose Parade. I had no idea we would get in this early. So kudos, major kudos. I'm so glad that we did, but it's going to happen fast and it is going to be a blast. A blast. I'm so excited. Yes.
Are they going to be chaperones for that trip?
Yes, there's going to be chaperones for that trip, and we will run some information with you next Thursday about how you would apply for chaperoning. And of course, band camp. We need chaperones for band camp. We need chaperones that will help us water the kids and during rehearsals. There's all kinds of that. So absolutely yes. We're going to go through all that next Thursday. Good? Now, raise your hand if you're a current parent, and I can point out where you're going to be for some questions. They're each going to talk a little bit about what they do and what they need, and we'll definitely move this kind of quickly. Ben, do you need them to come to this spot while they talk? Okay. Yeah, y'all can come here. That way he can get you on the screen. It's going to be like your 11 Alive or Channel 2 or something like that. Yeah.
Channel 2, I work for 8.
This one knows.
Okay.
Just to kind of talk about it.
Okay, hi, this is scarier than I thought it would be. Are you guys totally overwhelmed now? Like you just had an hour and a half of more information and you're a little bit brain dead? That's okay, because your face is what mine looked like a couple years ago. So I'm Stephanie Rush, and Danielle Morgan is handing out some flyers. And we are the concessions spirit people, so we try to bring lots of fun and spirit into concessions. Concessions is, and when I say concessions, it's the bandstand, which is over on the visitor side of the football field. We only function during home games, and it's a huge moneymaker for our band program. It also feeds your kids, which is huge. I can't tell you how many other band programs came this year and their band directors didn't give them a break. They didn't let these kids eat food. They didn't have time to just kind of chill and relax and enjoy each other and the friendships they're making. So my child is a sophomore this year, and to say that the 4 years go quickly, I'm sure some of y'all already know that, but this is the Brookwood Band is special because all of the parents get involved. So if you are new to the area, if you aren't new to the area, but you've been holed up with COVID for the last 2 years and you feel not connected to people, come help with concessions. There's lots of ways to help out if you're not available on Friday nights. We've got other opportunities that you can be a huge part of it. It takes a lot of work. On Friday nights, it takes about 15 to 17 people to make our concession stand run smoothly. The more money we make, the more goes into the band program, and it benefits all the kids. We've also got really good food. We beg parents because we have a good time, right, Danielle? Say yes. Okay. So we do. We have a good time, y'all. It's hot dogs and French fries and Skittles and M&Ms. So we try to keep it light and fun, and it is a great way to meet some of your neighbors and have some fellowship and feed hungry children. So if you have any questions, just kind of let me know. I kind of fell into this on accident, and now I'm a little stuck. So, but I try to make it fun because we've all got very busy lives. So if I'm asking you to give up your Friday or your Saturday or help me with ordering during the week, it's all going to be for something. So you'll make good friends, you'll get to know the other kids in the band, and you get to be involved with your high schoolers when they're like, because usually I hear like, bro, really, bro, you're going to be at the game, bro, don't even look at me. I'm going to come up and get some Skittles, bro. Don't look at me, bro. I'm like, okay, got it. So, it's just a good way to kind of keep an eye on your band student, on their friends, get to know the other parents, and what am I forgetting?
I mean, quite honestly, I'm a freshman mom. This is her first year. I started volunteering at concessions the third week, and I came every Friday after that. I work from home. I've been working from home since COVID started, so it was a great way to meet people, have fun. Yeah, we make it fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we make it fun. And I embarrass my daughter every game. I wear her button with her picture on it, and she now comes over and say hi on purpose. So, so I know the kids they enjoy it, and they actually enjoy the fact that their parents are there at the game, no matter what they act like when they're at home.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
You can hold that thing. I was going to stand next to you and talk.
Oh, great.
Okay, she's going to hold the little thing. Okay. Hey, I'm Sarah Bedzik. I am the volunteer coordinator. So other than concession stands, we volunteer needs for a lot of different things. But specifically for chaperones, we could use about 20 to 22 chaperones every game. Away games, we need more. So if you're interested in getting to know these kids, having fun, the band students are the best students. They are well-rounded, they're fun to be around, they're just a joy to hang out with. The band parents are really cool, and we love to have fun, and it's true.
And don't worry, if you can't decide, you can do concessions for home games and chaperone away games.
Absolutely.
We will make it work so you can do something every game, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then, of course, like Doc said, we need band camp chaperones that could come spend a week with them at North Georgia. It's really fun. I love it. And I'm not being sarcastic. I really do. I love it. So I'm going to be over there after here, and you guys can come sign up. I got a link. You can Google me, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let me know if you want to volunteer.
Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. We have to hold this other thing. So I'm Stephanie Craig. I do the spirit wear for the band. So when you purchase your garment bags, which, like Dr. Stanley said, the garment bag, having a garment bag is required for away games. You don't have to have that one, but it's a great one to have. It's really sturdy, it'll hold up, but they do need to have their their uniforms protected for away games. But also for summer spirit wear for going away to band camp, our fan shirts that we do every year, the hoodies that we do every year in the fall, all that stuff will be available on the band store, and we work with Mr. Risher to get that up there for you guys and available. And I just want to say, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Like they've all said up here, there's nothing better than the band with the kids, with the parents, getting to know those parents and the kids. And when you volunteer and you chaperone, when the game is over, you can take your kid and go. You don't have to come and sit in the parking lot with 500 other parents. Like, you're there already, you go. So that's just my 5 cents.
Okay, who else needs to, and I know it sounds very repeated over and over, but your kids will start with bro, seriously, I told you, don't look at me, don't speak to me, bro, park on the other side of the school, okay? And then after the third game, something starts to click, and they're like, bro, so my buddy said that you spotted him $1 because you didn't have enough to get a strawberry Fanta, bro. Cool, Mom. Cool. And all of a sudden, you're starting to become cool. And by the end of the season, not only are you cooler to your own child, but you're getting to know all their friends. And they're like, yo, Charlie's mom, what's up? You're like, hey. So it's very rewarding. And just kind of think of what you're good at, because we're going to try to pull you in individually if you don't come just happy, ready to go. I'll be like, hi, did you miss what I said at Rookie Night? So, any questions about anything? We'll be kind of on the side. We'll be on the side. I don't have a cool QR code or a link. You can Google me, but I have what?
You got a flyer.
I have a flyer. I thought I was special. And then Sarah goes, well, I have a QR code. I was like, oh, wow, you're cooler than me. So we'll be over there if you have any questions, and just give us your initial contact stuff. Concessions, we start rolling in, we usually sell drinks at graduation. So we'll be rolling some stuff in May, and then we'll get really busy end of July, early August, as we're getting the stand ready to rock and roll. So, okay.
I got one thing. Sorry, this is kind of important. I see a lot of dads. We really need help this year, like every year, with the equipment, loading the equipment. Any strong guys that want to come, we load before the away games, and even home games, they load up that stuff and bring it down to the field. So we are losing a lot of senior parents, and having those dads, it's amazing. And then also the dads being able to be there and be involved, it's fantastic. So.
And they eat for free.
Oh, and you guys get to eat for free. Chaperones get to eat for free at home games and get in for free. Yeah. So yeah.
And front row seats.
And front row seats. Yeah. And you get to zip kids up and,
Oh, I got that one. I think that goes Ben. Let's thank them really fast for all their help. So awesome. Yeah, the band kids, they never find me cool, so I guess maybe by the time Chloe gets up here, I might be considered a cool person, who knows. Truthfully, a well-oiled machine. No place I'd rather be than this spot. You're lucky, super lucky, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that everybody's having fun and looking forward to the next day, because ultimately that's what life's about right now. It's just looking forward to the next day, and we'll have fun doing it. I went through everything. Are there any questions that you have for the adult part of this? And if you have a specific question, I'll be here for a while. You can come ask me. I will say, I did order enough pizza for everybody to have 3 pieces of pizza. We have plenty of pizza. So if you have some room and you want to pick up a couple pieces on your way out, I did tell Mr. Jean that I was going to try to aim for 7. I think we did pretty well. And if once you're done, if you want to go down to the band room, the way you can do that is this long hall, it goes all the way down, it'll dead end. And there are some stairs, go down the stairs, take a left, and the band room's on your left. So all the way down the hall, down the steps, take a left. Or you can text your child and ask them to come up here and meet you if you parked here, that's totally fine too. So, but make sure you get some pizza if you'd like some more. We are so thankful for you. Go Broncos. And if you have questions and want to ask any of us, we're here for you. Okay? See you next Thursday, 7 o'clock.